Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. Russell Brand is the channel. Russell Brand. Love him or hate him. It's one of them, kind of. Bit like Charlie Beach in a way. Love him or hate him, Russell Brand. I don't know whether to trust him, to be honest, or whether he's just fucking. He's pulling our leg, so to speak, or he's actually genuinely on a awakening fucking again. He's got reborn on his cap there, reborn Christian, which is generally the way of things here. You know what I mean? It's what kind of been going on about. Like the Bible is real. It's true. It's kind of where you want to be, but is Russell Brand faking it? Some people think that's the other side of it. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't like to say yes or no, to be honest. I've thought yes for a while, but again, he's doing some good work. That's the other side of it. For you calling him like he's exposing a lot of truth as well. Like this is about COVID. They can't hide this any longer. Again, I personally didn't have any COVID vaccines, and because I knew it was bollocks from literally day one. I knew they were lying to us again. If you've known this whole sort of new world order agenda, conspiracy, global agenda, you'll be very aware that there's plans to put a microchip into us that will be the how you buy and sell things and be your money and your identity, the digital ID. Will in effect be a microchip put into your hand in the near future. It will not be a digital ID that'll be on your phone. It might start out like that, but that is definitely not where it's going. Again, not everybody owns a phone. Everybody owns a hand. You've got two hands, in fact. So the microchip that goes in your hand will go a lot better in your hand than in a phone because not everybody has a phone. So everybody's got a hand. So that's where it's going with the microchip thing. So when there was mentionings that everybody was taking mandatory vaccines at one point. All those people who knew the crack were a little bit weary of all these mandatory vaccines. Was the first hurdle here is why people like me were thinking, hold on a minute, mandatory vaccines for a virus that's a load of bullshit, to be honest, because if you look outside, what's happening on the news is not what's happening outside. People are not dying of this. People are not dying in the streets. People weren't dying in the supermarkets. People weren't dying, really. It would again flu was being put down as COVID, so people dying of flu. We eradicated flu for the first time ever. It was all a load of bollocks, to be honest. And again, some people can't admit that they've been hoodwinked. That's the other side of it. Like a lot of people think they're fucking cleverer than they are, and will never admit to themselves that they got fucked over and they got hoodwinked here and en masse. Do you know what I mean? En masse. So again, the proof of it is how many COVID vaccines you had. There you go. If you've had any COVID vaccines, you were hoodwinked somewhat, is the answer to that. So anyway, this is about COVID, excess deaths from the vaccines, heart problems, myocarditis, all these kind of things have been going on in the background. Many people have died from the vaccine. I've mentioned before, you'd be lucky if we haven't surpassed more people dying of the vaccine than the actual virus, but it's all being covered up because the people who told you to get the vaccine, i.e. the media, the powers that be, well, they're the people who are covering up that everyone's dying from it as well. The media, they were involved in the telling you to get the vaccine. If you didn't notice, the media were complicit in telling you to get the vaccine on every channel you can imagine. Yeah, they were very much complicit in making you get the vaccine, so they're now complicit in covering up all the damage the vaccine has done. So that's where we are. Many people not just died, but many people have got medical conditions. I mean, a lot of people, it's an unbelievable amount of people have now got medical conditions because of the vaccine. I know people myself, I know at least 3 people who have semi-serious medical conditions in the aftermath of the vaccines. So that's if it didn't fucking kill you. You know what I mean? Some people weren't that lucky. So it's a lesson in life as well. This, like, it's a lesson. Next time this comes around, and these fucking powers, motherfuckers, global bastard agenda wankers attempt to lie to you about fucking anything, never mind viruses, then have some fucking brains here and realize that the world isn't what you think. We're caught in a massive global agenda here, and things moves are being made left, right, and centre that you pretty much won't agree with, none of it, and that you're being meant to do things that you wouldn't do. Like there was no COVID, it was all bollocks. Like no one died. It was a load of shit. Like it was a big pile of shit. I mean, a few people died, but I maintain that they probably died of flu, not COVID. Like they probably died of flu because flu will kill you. The symptoms were very similar to what they were saying COVID symptoms were. And flu will kill you. Flu is really bad. COVID isn't, right? That's the way of it. COVID wasn't and isn't, and again, it was all apparently released from a lab in China and all this crack. So it wasn't even like a natural thing. You know what I mean? It's people fucking around in viruses in laboratories in China apparently, and that only happened. It was Bill Gates' lab apparently, and that only happened because we're not allowed to do these things in the West apparently. So we sent it over to China to do, but they don't have the fucking. It's like the building projects there, the tofu building projects. Don't ask China to do it fucking properly. So yeah, shit show again, shit show. Forbidden facts in the background here. Yeah, he's got reborn written all over his hat. Make summit healthy summit. So I don't know. I'm not going to comment on whether Russell Brand's genuine or not. I don't know. I would like to hope so, but you never know in this world of fucking liars, do you? And deceivers. So you very much could be pulling our leg. But anyhow, this is John Campbell, doctor. He's actually from Carlisle in Cumbria, where not far from myself. He is actually a doctor, or was a doctor, and he started reporting on COVID during COVID, and he was very much not a conspiracy theorist, and I would imagine if you asked him, he said he isn't a conspiracy theorist now. He just followed the data, he followed the evidence, he followed the what was released closely more than the public because he's a doctor. He's followed it to this day. We're 5 years down the line, nearly 6 years down the line. He's still following it. This was on Russell Brand 10 hours ago. So he's still on it, you know what I mean? We've all forgot about COVID and moved on, but this motherfucker is still looking at what went on here because he's a doctor, he's interested, and we were lied to. And he can prove that. So, yeah, that's what's going on. Dr. David or John Campbell, I believe. He's got a YouTube channel. He's from Carlisle in Cumbria, not far from myself. So, again, an actual doctor. He's reported all the way through this. Again, he's one of the reasons that a lot of people can understand and believe that you were fucked over with COVID because you've got an actual doctor who's not a conspiracy theorist in any way, shape, or form. An actual doctor telling you what's gone on here many times, that you've been fucked, you've been absolutely fucked over. New vaccines as well, like with mRNA vaccines or something, they operated differently. You were all guinea pigs as well. That's another way of looking at it. You were all guinea pigs, and on many levels it went wrong. On many levels, you were very lucky if you had more than one. If you had any COVID vaccines, but if you had more than one, you were very lucky to not either have serious health problems or have died. From complications. That this is a reality. There's the amount of people with health problems is unreal. And a lot of people might have health problems in the aftermath and not have put it down to the fact that it was the vaccine because it's called soft kill. You got a vaccine 5 years ago, and then you suddenly start getting health problems. You might not put two and two together here, but it very much could be the vaccines that you piled yourself with that you didn't need, that hadn't been tested. That was fundamentally the biggest part of it. It hadn't been tested. You were the guinea pigs, so in my eyes, it was very, very stupid. Never mind the whole microchip incident here of the New World Order. It was very, very stupid to go taking vaccines that we hadn't tested here. We didn't know what was going to happen. It's life and death here. You're meddling with biology within your body, which is a very, very serious thing to meddle with if you do not understand it. So for me, that was fundamentally why I didn't take any, because it hadn't been tested. You don't trust these motherfuckers in charge would be another reason as well. Do not trust these motherfuckers in charge. So we'll move and listen now. We'll have a listen to
people were getting COVID and they were being given end-of-life drugs.
Fuck.
So you've got a respiratory infection, you've got morphine, and you've got midazolam. Now, you can work out, Russell, as a non-medic, that is a bad combination. All three of those are attacking the breathing, the oxygenation of the blood. And people were dying as a result of that. Now, what Wilson Sy did, he tracked the amount of midazolam that was going out, and he tracked the excess deaths. And he found out that a month after the midazolam was going out, the excess deaths were rising.
Hey, this is one I want to ask you, Doc. Is like, we know in practice euthanasia exists because...
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think that my dad was euthanized. He went into hospital, he was in no pain, they pumped him full of morphine for about 2 to 3 weeks. I even asked them to take him off morphine, kind of a regret of mine, I didn't push harder on that. They just pumped him full of morphine till he died. That's literally what they done. And in the aftermath, like, I realised that, do you know what I mean? That's what happened. They just pumped him full of morphine from the minute he went in hospital till the minute he died. And I even thought that there was no need for... He's like, his arm swelled up that much from the amount of morphine they'd put into him. His arm was twice the size of his other arm. They took it out of his arm and put it in his stomach and started pumping it into his stomach. So, yeah, again, I mean, I often thought they'd done that with my grandma and my auntie, like, but I was too young to click on to what was going on, to be honest. And yeah, when my grandma and my auntie went into hospital, again, they were quite old, don't get me wrong, but then they weren't that old. And yeah, they just pump them full of morphine till you die, basically. But if you Google it, that is a crack, apparently. If you keep pumping somebody full of morphine, they will die. So yeah, it kind of felt like that. It kind of felt like we do have euthanasia in this country, but it's done very much through the back door, and people don't understand medication, they don't understand medicine and morphine and these things, and just hope that the doctors and the nurses are doing the best for the people in the hospital. But I don't think that's the way of it. I think that they do euthanize people in this country. Half of these doctors aren't even English and all. That's the other side of it. Remember that. Half of these doctors aren't English now. And the nurses, a lot of the nurses, again, the NHS has been completely fucked over. Not training and employing English people, but predominantly employing foreigners and bringing people in from abroad. Everybody's seen that in the hospitals as well. Again, the entire health service it's not British, do you know what I mean? It's not British anymore. It's all these people brought in, foreigners, to service the NHS, which in my opinion doesn't need to be done, because we have enough British people here to service the NHS. So it's kind of being done on purpose, do you know what I mean? Yet again, just more and more. A lot of the foreigners, the legal immigration that's being brought in, is being done in sort of the medical profession. Again, the amount of foreigners looking after old people, well, I've got quite a story on that, to be honest. I might make a completely separate video about it, but basically foreigners raping elderly people in care homes, possibly in Sweden, I think it was. I'll have to find the video and I'll make a video on it. But yeah, the foreigners, the raping our foreign friends here, doctors and engineers, in the care industry, just not primarily the hospitals, but sort of private care of people in care homes and things like this, people with dementia. Yeah, our foreign friends have been raping, one a week, apparently, one a week. I think it's in Sweden. I'll make a video on it. Yeah, but one a week being raped. So again, the entire medical, the NHS, the whole medical industry in Britain's been fucking ruined here. But it's been done on purpose, in my opinion. It's been absolutely done on purpose, bringing all these foreigners in, and that's primarily where they put a lot of them that come to work. That are legal migrants. A lot of them are going into the medical profession, which is ultimately ruining the medical profession. It's making it worse. The standard that we had here in Britain was far higher back in the day than it is today. Again, people say the NHS I mean, some of these people can't speak very good English, you know what I mean? The last doctor I seen at the hospital was an African, and he didn't speak the best English. He was all right. He was, to be fair, he was all right. But again, he's not English. He's not English. Communication barriers here. Again, some people in the, no, I wouldn't necessarily say in the NHS and these actual doctors, but in the care industry, and again, in Sweden's proof's in the pudding, one rape a week of elderly women by foreign men in the care profession. It speaks for itself. Do you know what I mean? But it's more evidence yet again of this fucking immigrant invasion and why it's bad. And yeah. So anyhow, this is about COVID anyway. But euthanasia. I really do think that's the thing. I kind of feel like three members of my family, possibly four if you went with my granddad, to be honest. But I was real young when that happened. Yeah, I kind of think the euthanasia. If once you get old and you get to hospital, they just pump you full of fucking drugs till you die. Because again, my dad was in no pain whatsoever to be needing morphine, and again, this is why I'd said to them on multiple occasions, like, why is he on morphine? Can you take him off the morphine? Because you're just pumping him full of morphine, and he's not in pain in any way, and he was like delirious all the time. He wasn't himself. He wasn't me dad. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have mind speaking to my actual dad before he died, and not just some hazy sort of my dad, if you get what I'm saying. He was in and out of consciousness and was talking crap because he was just loaded full of morphine. And I wouldn't have mind actually speaking to my dad before he died, but they just pumped him full of morphine till he died. So yeah, that's kind of what I saw, and I've said that multiple times. You know what I mean? I've mentioned that a few times in videos. That's kind of what I saw in the aftermath. But you have to live with it. There's nothing I can do about it. You have to live with it. You know what I mean? But quite a lot of regret on my part that I didn't push them to take him off the morphine more. Again, I asked a few times, but I didn't push the issue because I'm not a doctor. I don't know, but he wasn't in any pain. He wasn't in pain before he went in the hospital. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's very dubious. These motherfuckers. Again, I wouldn't like to go in the hospital for anything like this because whether you can trust some of these people now. I mean, you've got this Lucy Letby thing. Whether she's innocent or guilty is another matter. Again, a lot of people think she's innocent. Even her friends and all sorts. We've seen multiple people think she's innocent. Multiple people think she's guilty. But say she is guilty. I mean, I'm not too sure on that. I wouldn't condemn the woman because I don't know. But say she is guilty, then look at that. Look what you've got there. A woman in hospital killing children for no real reason whatsoever. Again, I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that she's guilty of that, to be honest, in the aftermath. But say that was the crack. Well, that could have been the crack, couldn't it? You got people in hospital just trying to kill babies, so fuck knows what people are doing in there. Give people some power. Again, there's sociopaths, psychopaths, people with mental health problems. These people all exist. Give them some form of power or control over someone's life, and you never know what people might do. It's a crazy world, as we all know at this point. So yeah, back to the COVID. So this is basically saying that they killed people. Again, this is along these lines of euthanasia. They killed people by giving people drugs they didn't need, that ultimately killed them. And yeah, so not only were you given vaccines that have killed many people, but you were given drugs that would kill you when you had COVID again. And like, it was a shit show. It was an absolute shit show, the likes of which you've never seen. And again, it's a bit like me. I was explaining there about me and my dad in hospital. Because we know fuck all about medical science, you kind of have to go with the experts, is so the crack. But again, if you knew what sort of people like me knew before this, you kind of know you don't listen to experts. Because like 9/11 was the starting point here, and you've got experts telling you about 9/11. But then you've got other people telling you that shit like that couldn't happen for certain reasons, and that, you know what I mean. Like, so again, the experts on the news were being contradicted by actual experts in their fields of architects and engineers. Architects and engineers were completely saying the opposite to what some of the experts on the news were saying. Again, Building 7, etc., all these things, if you know about 9/11. So yeah, it's basically you don't trust the experts that on the news. You don't trust the experts on the news. Absolutely key. I mean, you'll also get these experts on the news about the economy, and they all fucking lie to you about the economy. So basically, whenever there's an expert on the news, the basic lesson or the basic rule is you don't fucking listen to them. They're lying to you, usually, depending on the agenda. But 9 times out of 10, the experts will be lying to you. It's been done on multiple occasions here. 9/11, COVID, any big agenda where they're trying to fucking lie to you, to be honest. The experts will lie to you. So it's a lesson in life, COVID. It really is. And again, this will come round again. We've seen that picture on The Economist where he was predicting World War Three, but he predicted vaccines as well and pills and all sorts. So I believe COVID was very much a tester, and 80% got vaccinated, but that'll kind of fall down now a little bit if people are paying attention to what's going on in the background, like this and like the excess deaths due to the vaccines, if you're paying attention. But it's all been covered up by the mainstream media, obviously. All been absolutely covered up by the mainstream media. So you got to go and look for this stuff, do you know what I mean? Or pay attention. And again, the doctor that was just on a moment ago, David here, David or John, I can't quite remember, from Carlisle though. I was in Carlisle yesterday. But yeah, you got to pay attention. The mainstream news isn't going to tell you these things because they fucking don't lie to you. It's like the whole immigration crack and the government, and it's all, again, if you haven't figured out that the media are lying bastards that work for the government, every single channel, then you're an idiot. Like, that's that's the bottom line here. If you haven't figured that out yet, you're an idiot. So I won't play this, but it's on Russell Brand. This is David Campbell. It's either John Campbell or David. I think it's David. Um, he's got a YouTube channel. I think it's maybe just called David Campbell, something like that, or John Campbell. And again, he's just a doctor, and he just talks about doctor stuff of all kinds, not just COVID, to be honest, but he talks about all kinds of medical things going on in the world. And the background there, and again, he's more like awoken now to what's going on, I suppose, due to COVID and being a doctor and seeing the shit show that COVID was. He's become a bit more aware of global agendas in the aftermath. So a good source of information, an educated man, and again, he knows his shit when it comes to medicine. So I'll leave it there, really. But yeah, this is that basically that the crack was they give many people medications that killed them. They killed them when they had COVID because of what they give them. Again, he goes on to explain this. The video is 7 minutes long. I don't want to steal Russell Brand's video, to be honest. But I just thought I'd give it. I was more mentioning the doctor here. I'm not subscribed to his channel anymore now. I've seen he was on Russell Brand here, so he's real big. The doctor, he's probably got he's got millions of subscribers anyway. In the aftermath of COVID, so the powers that be he'll be frowned upon, I would imagine, because he's telling people the truth. Um, yeah, he fucks up the agendas. He fucks up the agendas here. So I'll leave it there. But if you want to watch the video, it's on Russell Brand. But as I say, he's got his own channel, and it's all on there, really. It's all on there. The shit show that COVID was, the aftermath, the vaccines, the myocarditis, everything that's happened, really. If you go to Don, John, or David's channel, it's all on there. And you can see the truth of what COVID was really about, what really happened, and not from a conspiracy theorist, from a doctor. Leave it there, peace.